It's time to talk about the playoffs. Warriors Spurs. Spoiler alert: the Warriors completed the sweep. Now, if you've been paying attention, Kawhi Leonard went down, Tony Parker went down, David Lee also went down, which we'll talk about a little bit in a second. But let's talk about Game 3. The Warriors beat the Spurs 120-108. The Warriors came into Game 3, they said, expecting the Spurs to, quote, hit them in the mouth on their home court. San Antonio was already missing leading scorer Kawhi Leonard, their veteran point guard Tony Parker. Then they lost David Lee in the first quarter to a knee injury. He went down with a few minutes left in the first quarter and never returned. He couldn't even put weight on that leg. The Spurs, they matched a postseason high, scoring 33 points in the opening quarter and led by as many as 6 throughout the first half. Then KD erupted in the third quarter with 19 points. Team shot 55% from the floor and went 11 of 27 on threes. Kevin Durant finished the game with 33 points and 10 rebounds. Then Steph Curry with the pot. He pitched in 21 points, became the franchise leader in the postseason points, and he passed Hall of Famer Rick Barry on that list. JaVale McGee got his first start in the series. It seems that since he got that little pep talk from Shaq, we'll call it a pep talk, he's been on a tear. He got his first start in the series. Went 6 of 9 for 16 points in the first 13 minutes of the game. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's still been struggling after stressing that he had to step up as a scorer in the absence of Kawhi. He finished with game 8. He finished the game with 18 points on 7 of 17 shooting. LaMarcus talked more about his struggles here. Let's take a listen real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I tried my best. They still doubled and clogged from the elbow and try to make things difficult. So I just try to pick my spots to take my shots. Even if it was a tough shot at times, I still took it. They're a good defensive team and they keyed on some things and just made things tough out there.
Just talk about LaMarcus Aldridge really quick. I talked about it with Kevin last week. I talked about it with some people on Twitter. Just for his size, I feel like he should be a lot more dominant. And like I said last week, I'm not sure if it's the system. Kevin said he's not sure if it's because he's used to being the guy. He came from Portland where he was the main guy. He's the focal point of the offense. I'm not sure. But I feel like LaMarcus Aldridge should have been way more dominant in this series. Tons more dominant. But let's move on to Game 4. The Warriors, they finished the Spurs off with a 129-115 win. Golden State went ahead and closed the series out. Steph and KD had 36 and 29 respectively in the game. And the game was in San Antonio, so I expected a little more fight. And I'm not to say that the Spurs didn't put up a fight. I don't know. I just expected a closer game. The Dubs led by as many as 22 points. The Spurs' only lead came with a Manu Ginobili layup in the opening possession. Manu got the start in Game 4 with Greg Popovich saying he started the 39-year-old as a sign of respect. It's possible that could have been Ginobili's last game. This could be his last season as a Spur. He finished the game with 15 points in a crowded arena with chants of his name. So, I don't know. I hope to see Manu come back. But if he doesn't, he's accomplished a lot. He's right up there with the top shooting guards in history. I love Manu Ginobili, one of my quiet favorite players. He does what he has to do, and he keeps it moving. He's got a gold medal. He's got the championships. If he leaves tomorrow, he's accomplished a lot in the league. The reporter, real quick, he tried to get an exclusive. I wish I had the clip of it. Manu sat down, said a phrase in Spanish. The reporter immediately asked Manu, "You didn't retire in Spanish, did you?" If he would have, I don't know. I feel like that would have put him up there for me. That would have been the sneakiest way to retire. Say it in Spanish. With the win, the Warriors have won 5 straight games over the Spurs, which is the team's longest streak against their Western Conference foes. They also became the first team in league history to start the playoffs 12-0. They swept each of their opponents this postseason. And they're moving to their 3rd straight finals appearance. And you know who they're joining? They're joining the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's talk about the Celtics and Cavs series. Game 3. The Celtics came in and shook the table. They won 111-108. In a shocker, they pulled off an improbable win to put the series at 2-1 and hand the Cavs their first loss of the 2017 postseason. LeBron James struggled with what was later identified as a cold and not fatigue. I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, LeBron's tired. He played all those minutes. He's breaking." No, LeBron just had a little summer cold. Even with their best player being a little off, the Cavs led 77-56 at the half. And they made 14 3-point field goals in the first half. Seemed like the game would mirror the first 2 blowouts of the series. Then cue Marcus Smart, who went crazy. Who would have thought Marcus Smart would have been the savior for the Celtics? Smart started in the place of injured Isaiah Thomas, who's out with the hip injury. Finished the game with 27 points. Like, who would have thought Marcus Smart would have finished the game with 27 points? Like, Marcus Smart, he's cool. I didn't think he would have had 27. I would have expected that from maybe, I don't know, Al Horford, Avery Bradley. Smart hit the game-tying 3 to even it up at 95 before going total. He went back-to-back. Like, whatever the Cavs had for the Celtics, Marcus Smart came back with the same intensity. Jonas Jerebko, who was the spark off the bench, the spark and the attitude, he hit the go-ahead baseline jumper, gave the C's a 108-106 lead with 30 seconds left. Gotta tip my hat to Brad Stevens, he's amazing at drawing up plays out of the timeout. One of the best coaches in the league that does that. Somehow he drew up a play that the Celtics executed so perfectly. They got the ball to Avery Bradley on the left side out of the timeout. Bradley took the 3 I don't know. I know I could never play sports because in moments I know I'm nervous on the couch. So if I was playing, I probably would have turned the ball over. But Avery Bradley took the shot, watched it bounce up and down on the rim like 4 times before it dropped in, and gave Boston the win at the buzzer. Here he is talking to David Aldridge after the game about the Game 3 effort. This is courtesy of Zemo Pierto on YouTube. Here we go right here.
First of all, walk me through the last play and the look you got.
Wide open look. I mean, Al did a great job of getting me open, and Marcus made a great pass, and I was able to knock down the shot.
All right, so that was Game 3. Celtics, they put a number in the win column, put the series at 2-1. Game 4, Celtics came out swinging. Looked like they was going to even it up on the way to Boston. LeBron James struggled early again. He ended up in foul trouble with 4 fouls. And I believe that was the first time that's ever happened to him in his career. He had 4 fouls, I believe, in the first half. And the Celtics, they just had their way. By the end of the half, the Celtics were holding on, clinging on to a 57-47 lead. And it looked like they would even it up before getting on that plane back to Boston. Then Marcus Smart was the savior for the Celtics in Game 3. Kyrie Irving came and said, I can do it too, but better. He came in and just went crazy. He took over the second half, scored 19 in less than 5 minutes, and 33 over the course of 19 minutes. Let me just say that again. He scored 19 in less than 5 minutes, and then 33 over the course of 19 minutes. Even after stepping on the foot of Terry Rozier, slightly injuring his ankle, Irving finished the game with 42 points. Cavs shot a whopping 71% in the second half on the way to a 112-99 win. Pushed the series lead to 3-1, got on their plane back to Boston, and knew what they had to do. The Cavaliers did not want to see the Celtics team for more than 6 games. Somebody said on Twitter, I was listening to Mike and Jamel on the 6 on SportsCenter. A lot of people were like, the Celtics are a better team without Isaiah Thomas and this and that. I'm going to take a page out of Michael Smith's book and say that they're not a better team, they're just a different team. With Isaiah Thomas on the floor, of course, you know who you got to stop. You know the guy. You know, essentially, you got to cut the head off that snake, stop the whole team. But without him on the floor, the production could come from anywhere. It could come from Al Horford. It came from Jonas Jerebko once, Kelly Olynyk in the game, Marcus Smart. It's an attack from all fronts. So the Cavs, they knew if they were going to get some rest before they saw the Warriors, who they've been competing with from afar, if they were going to get some rest before the Warriors, they had to close out Boston in Boston. And that is what they did. Game 5 was far less eventful. The Cavs knew they needed to close out the series, and they handed Boston a 135-102 loss on their home court. Built a 21-point lead in the first period. Love knocked down some shots. Kyrie continued to collect knees and ankles and put them in his back pocket. LeBron woke up a little bit, dominated. I was watching the first quarter of the game. I kept watching that lead grow. And I said, you know what? I'm going to care about myself and I'm going to love myself. And I changed the channel and I played Grand Theft Auto 5. And I came back at halftime and I looked at the score and I said, I'm going to keep playing. And matter of fact, I think I just changed the channel completely and just went back to playing video games. LeBron's 35. He had 35 for the game. Put him ahead of Michael Jordan on the all-time playoff scoring list. And can we just talk about LeBron for a quick second? Can we stop with the MJ LeBron comparisons? And I only say that for this. LeBron and Michael, I believe that we don't have to I don't like the comparisons. I don't think we should. It's a fun conversation, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not necessary. Michael was great for one reason. LeBron is great for a completely different reason. I know we feel the need to have a greatest of all time discussion, but I don't know. I just feel like LeBron even said himself, like, Michael was the person that got him into basketball, the reason he wears the number 23, made him fall in love with the game. I don't know. we don't have to compare them. We don't have to. I'm not going to engage in comparing LeBron to Michael. LeBron is the best in my generation. I ain't even see Michael Jordan play. I know he was a GOAT. 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs. Let's stop comparing them. They're both great. If I had to pick, though, I'd pick Michael. Let's go. And with the win, the Cavs, they're on the way to their 3rd straight finals along with the Warriors. This is LeBron's 7th straight appearance. He scored 30-plus in 11 of the team's 13 playoff games, and he improved to 36-5 against Eastern Conference opponents. So let's talk about some finals predictions real quick while I got you here. I'm gonna take the easy way out, and I'm gonna say I need to see Game 1. I gotta see Game 1 on Thursday. I'm leaning heavily towards the Warriors. I just feel like they've got. I believe I saw a stat on the NBA history Twitter with Steph on the floor, KD, and LeBron. I think they said something like they account for 7 of the last 8 MVP awards. So we've got a great series on our hands. I do believe that, like LeBron said and Kyrie said, members of that Cavaliers organization, they've got to play defense. Without defense, they cannot rely on their offense to compete with the Warriors. Their defense is not on the same level at all, and then the offense is close, but no cigar. I'm still leaning really heavily towards the Warriors pulling the series out. Now, how long is what I'm battling with? I'm going to say it's a long series again. I'm going to say it at least goes to 6. I don't think the Warriors will gentlemen sweep them. I don't think they'll sweep them at all. I think this is going to be a hard-fought series. It'll go back and forth, but I do think that the Warriors will eventually pull it off. I look at the way they've treated and you can say, oh, they got the Spurs when they were injured. They got a Utah Jazz team that fought, but it was the Utah Jazz. They got a Portland team that's young. I just don't discredit those guys. They got 4 of the best players in the NBA on their team, and their offense is rolling. Their defense is solid. I see them beating the Cavs. Not in the sweep. I don't see the Cavs going down without a fight, but I do see the Cavs going down. And we're going to take one more break. I'm going to tell you who I'm getting out the paint. 2 of my favorites, actually. We're going to have to get them out the paint. Sorry. And I'm going to tell you what to watch. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Between the Lines. I don't forgot the name of my show. Between the Lines on 12:30 a.m. The Blaze, where we're not just music, we're more radio should be. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. So that was the break. And I asked in my Facebook Live, which you can participate in every week. It's cool if you come join my Facebook Live. It's fine. I asked for the finals prediction. So Kevin said Warriors in 3. Then he changed it to Warriors in 5. He said LeBron's going to get one. And they were down 31 last year. Why they can't do it again? And what I put in the live was verbatim. One reason. And his name is Kevin Durant. KD added that little push of offense for the Warriors, and I think he'll be their X factor. Because you gotta think about it. When Steph ain't going and Clay going, KD's going. But when you get all 3 of them going, plus the motor mouth that is Draymond Green, the defensive, he got the defensive prowess that anybody will want on their team. He's gonna stop somebody. I don't know. I feel like the Warriors will do it. My mom also said LeBron James is going to take his team all the way, which I didn't know she watched basketball, but okay. Let's see who we're getting out the paint. We got to get Shaq and Chuck out the paint on inside the NBA. You know how you got them old uncles that argue all the time? That's what Shaq and Chuck were doing. So Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck, they were discussing Game 4 of the Cavs-Celtics series when Ernie asked Shaq for his thoughts on the next game. And here's a clip from the crossover that just shows what happened afterwards.
Shaq, you want to look ahead to Game 5 of this series?
Another must win for Cleveland.
My goodness!
You don't want to mess around, Chuck. You have no idea what we're talking about
it's a real must win for Boston
because you've only been to the finals once. So
I was riding on Dwayne Wade's and Kobe's coattails.
Doesn't matter, Chuck. I got the same thing you got, and I passed you up 10 years.
Just letting you know. Anyway, if I had been riding on Kobe's coattails, Dwayne Wade's, and Alonzo Mourning's too, I forgot about
must win for those guys. Everybody knows you're a bum.
Rick Fox.
People question why you're in the Hall of
Fisher.
Fame anyway, bum.
You know what? They both said some pretty offensive things. We all know that Shaq didn't ride on Kobe's coattail. He definitely didn't ride on Dwayne Wade's coattail. And we know that Chuck is not a bum. Chuck is one of the best power forwards we ever saw, ever in the league, the history of the league. There's not too many that's going to be better than Chuck. The only thing is that Chuck felt he didn't make it to get that ring. And I don't think he should be looked down upon because he didn't get that ring. All right, let me tell you what to watch. Game 1, of the finals is Thursday, June 1st. Tips off at 9 p.m. on ABC. This is Between the Lines with Keona Jones on 12:30 a.m. The Blaze. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.